Test one, two, test. Pineapple. Pineapple. All right, how's it sound?
Perfect.
Perfect pineapple. All right. Ready when you are, sir.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
So we sent him a very strong letter just the other day, asking 8 very strong questions about why this isn't just a pretext.
Hey, we need more likers and subscribers and follows on our social media accounts. That's all we need.
Don't follow us on our socials. Just like and subscribe on YouTube.
No, dude.
I don't like the way I look on the videos you're putting on Instagram. For whatever reason, I feel like my face looks wider and not good in that.
Yeah, it's doing something to it, but it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. They're good. We actually had one that hit there was 30 comments on it.
Okay. What was it about?
It was I don't know. It was on Instagram and it was about Trump dying.
Okay, and that's my first thing I was going to bring up tonight. But real quick, were the people mad at us, or were they like, what was the tone?
I feel like it was 20. Oh wait, no, two people said something about us being libtards, and then the rest was like overwhelmingly, yes, I'm about to pop some champagne. We're going crazy, which means you were right.
I was going to say, do you remember our last conversation? I said that if Trump dies, there's going to be people on the left, not all of the left, but people on the left that are shitty about it, that are going to be like celebrating in the streets and really pissing off MAGA. And you said, no, the left has empathy. You're right. Hold on. So, a good part of the left does, but there are going to be people on the left that are going to be popping champagne bottles, and it'll be like New Year's Eve, fireworks going off. Yay, Trump is dead. And like, that's going to, I'm telling you right now, I think that's going to possibly be the worst case scenario for America is Trump dies unexpectedly. The left gets excited. The right gets mad. Like that will be chaos in the streets. Like there will be, like, I don't want to go as far as say civil war, but like that will be a bad time for this country. It'll be studied in the history books. Like I
think you're right. I think you're right. And he's not looking good. He hasn't been seen really. And he hasn't spoken to the camera, which is maybe his favorite thing in the world.
He's gone 6 days now without talking to the camera. I sent you this picture, but they got a shot of him walking out of the White House this morning, heading to and he went to the whatever I think it's like his Virginia golf club, and they zoomed in on it. I don't know if you can see this picture, but like above, and this could totally be photoshopped. I don't fully trust this, but do you see that like extra skin over his nose? Like what is that? Is that Photoshop? Can you tell? Because I saw this picture a lot today, and I don't understand how suddenly he would have a blob of swelling, or what am I looking at there?
I saw it too, but I didn't really look at it. But like if you zoom in,
there's like a crease over his nose and then a layer of what would cause, I don't even know what would cause that.
There's a weird, like you see, if you zoom into just his like ear and hat on the right-hand side. Like there's like his hat kind of goes into a crease, which could be his hat just, falling off, and his ear goes really out of focus, which could be the zoom lens, falling off focus. And the flagpole kind of looks weird, and his hat looks really weird. He's got like some weird striation on the hat. You see like on the S.
You know what? I'm just noticing the flag. That's not like an American. Like where's the stars and all that? I'm hoping this is Photoshop because when I saw this, I don't understand what could be going on over his eyes that's causing like a fold, a crease of skin. I'm hoping this is Photoshop. But the thing is, there's been talk about Trump possibly like having this, that people are saying he had a stroke and all kinds of stuff. And like, if
mini strokes is what I heard.
I'm hearing so much, but like, so real quick, when we got done recording on Friday night, I stayed up late and edited the podcast. So I went to bed at like 2:30 my time. And as I was getting ready to go to bed, I opened up Twitter, and Trump died or Trump is dead was trending on Twitter. And like, I was seeing so much stuff where I was like, holy shit, like, did Trump really? I didn't want to go to bed because I was like, what's going on here? And I woke up the next morning and it was still going on. And it's pretty much still going on now, 4 days later. And if you're the Trump White House and there's all these rumors that the president of the United States is either dead or disabled or something. Like the
Hmm.
first thing you do is you'd find a way to march him out on camera and have him say something like, for the security of the U.S. and the world, like you would want to make sure that everybody knows the president's good. And this has
Yeah.
been like they know what's being said online. This administration has their ear
So
to the ground. Why would they have not marched him out in front of the camera at this point?
they brought him out, but it was only like photos from a really far distance, like this one.
Yeah, well, and they were trying to have it not be a press availability. There were just photographers like outside the fence that were able to zoom in and get this photo. And like I said, this photo might be photoshopped. I don't know if I trust it.
There was
Um,
another photo that was far off too. I like this one kind of popped up randomly. I think this is AI or photoshopped because it doesn't look.
it's got to be.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Like,
What?
yeah, like you said, the American flag doesn't have any stars on it. The USA in the top is it's got like a weird funk to it. The hat's kind of cropped off. He's got like the flagpole is messed up over here. His
Okay,
ear
so
is very out of focus. And then he's got, I don't know, his eye, like, but who knows? I mean, I don't know.
that's like I said, the fact that they haven't marched him out to be in front of a camera is really alarming to me. That's the only all the stuff I'm seeing online. People make shit up, and but why haven't they put like if this is going on, put him in front of a camera? I don't get that at all. And he was supposed to have no media availability tomorrow at all. I also. But then at the last minute tonight, like an hour ago, they added something to the schedule and says Trump's going to make an announcement tomorrow at 2 p.m. Now, it didn't give the location or anything. So, like, normally it would say, like, Trump's going to speak in the Rose Garden or Trump's going to speak in the Oval Office, like, and it's a press availability.
I
Sorry.
know what it is.
What is it?
Well, did you hear that the greatest mayor in history of the New York City and an equally great American patriot will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, our country's highest civil honor?
Have you heard all the rumors about what happened to him this weekend? We're talking about Rudy Giuliani, but have you
Yeah.
heard about what supposedly, and
He
this
got
is
in a car accident?
so he got in a car accident, but like the rumors, and this is so unfounded. So I don't, this allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly 8 times here, but allegedly he got in a car wreck and his story doesn't match up with the police report. And now people are saying
Okay.
people are saying that he apparently picked up a lady of the night, if you will, a paid
It makes
escort,
sense.
and
I don't blame him.
was drunk and got in a wreck. Is that's what I keep seeing. Now he claims that he got flagged down by a motorist that was in trouble. He got out, he helped them, he called 911 for them. After the police showed up, he went on his way, and right after he left there, he got rear-ended. Rudy Giuliani, I don't know what his age is, but like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would pull over to help a stranded motorist. I'm just going out on he's Rudy Giuliani. Like he's not
100% not.
so that doesn't make sense. The police report makes no mention of that. The police report just says that two vehicles got in a pretty major collision on whatever interstate it was. It says it seems fishy, but again, there's a part of me right now. The left is being just as full of shit as the right was for a long time. Where like I keep seeing all this stuff about Trump's health and about Giuliani, and like I don't know if I believe any of it.
So either way, was Rudy driving?
I don't know. If you believe what the left is saying, he was drunk and driving. I don't know that that's
Well,
true.
okay, Rudy Giuliani's always drunk. Let's
Okay.
just go with that.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, like he's 80 years old, he's 75. Like he probably shouldn't be driving. Like
Yeah.
the man did a press conference in front of a gardening center when he was supposed to be in front of like a Hilton
It
or
was four.
something.
It was Four Seasons total landscaping.
There you go. Four
Yeah.
seasons, total landscaping. And the guy had fucking hair dye
Okay.
running down his face as he was.
So objectively, the funniest two moments of all of the Trump administration were those two moments. When he was trying to do the stop the steal after he lost in 2020, and Rudy set up that press conference at the Four Seasons, and it turned out to be the Four Seasons total landscaping, which was hysterical. And
Yeah.
then that press conference that he gave where he was sweating so much and like his hair dye started running down his face. That was the funniest. Anyhow, yeah.
I mean, this guy doesn't have like all of his cognition firing at the same time. He's
Yeah.
and you know who I really feel bad for is the lady of the night.
The
Like
one that
this
Rudy picked
girl
up.
has to beg
Yeah.
Giuliani. What the?
I don't know. And going back to tomorrow's announcement, like the left is like, uh-oh, here it is. Trump's going to resign due to health issues tomorrow. I don't see that at all. I think Trump would have to be brain dead before there's no way he's resigning due to health issues. He'll stick it out. But then there's other people saying, oh, he's going to make a big announcement about troops going into Chicago or about Rudy getting the Medal of Freedom. So it could be anything.
Yeah.
I'm very like, all I want to see is it going to be live and on camera? Like, there's a part of me that thinks they're going to release some pre-recorded little him talking to the camera
Oh,
with no, because, and also he supposedly gave an interview to the Daily Wire, I believe it is, the Daily Caller, excuse me. The Daily Caller is a right-wing publication, and he supposedly gave them an interview sometime over these last 6 days that they're about to put out. Now, it wasn't on
okay.
camera, and I'm curious, like, I want to know, was that over the phone? Did a reporter sit down one-on-one with him? Who was that reporter? Like, is he okay? Again, the fact that there's all these rumors, not just around America, around the world, that Trump's health is faltering, and we haven't seen Trump for 6 days. Like, why wouldn't they put him on camera somewhere?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what?
they should wheel him out and wheel him out.
You know what the most likely scenario is, though. Honestly, is that
Hmm.
he got some kind of cosmetic surgery on his face, like he got an eye lift, or then he needs time to heal, and they just don't want to put him on camera because he got his skin tightened or something. Like
I
that's
don't know, man.
realistically,
Have you seen the videos where I mean, and we watched this on our thing where he's walking down that red carpet to meet
and he's
Putin,
weaving.
and he's weaving all across the red carpet. And then there's also a bunch of videos that have come out this weekend of him like dragging his foot.
Yeah, I keep seeing that too.
Right. So this is what I mean. This makes the most sense from all of that. Putting all of that together is that he is having like little mini strokes.
I've seen a couple doc people that claim they're doctors on Twitter and stuff
Mhm.
saying that, oh, this is clearly what it is. I don't know. I don't know what I believe. Like I
Well, we don't know. None of us know, but like
yeah.
in my mind, I'm looking at it like, oh, like if you're a doctor, you're gonna see him drag a foot. Like people don't drag feet normally, right?
No, and it's not obvious. If you look for it, you can see what they're talking about, but it's like my dad had a stroke and the right side of his body wasn't working, and like
Hmm.
he was dragging his right foot for the last couple of years. And like
Yep.
it was obvious. Whereas like Trump's, if you just look at him, you kind of don't see it, but then if somebody points it out and you look, you're like, "Oh, he is kind of dragging that." So it's not
Hmm.
major, but there's a little something going on there.
Little subtle things that show that he's having. And there was a press conference where his face was kind of droopy, and he's been kind of just not with it lately,
Well,
like
that's
100%.
you know,
And he's old, but
real quick, what sucks is and I should pull it at some point, but I think I've shared it with you. There's a Robin Williams comedy deal from like the late 90s or early 2000s where Robin
yeah.
Williams is talking about Joe Biden, and like Joe Biden, he doesn't even know what he's saying. He doesn't know where he's at because like Joe Biden has always put his foot in his mouth and this and that. But
Mhm.
then when Joe Biden started to lose his mind, it's like, well, how can you tell? He's always said stupid. Like that's Joe Biden. And it sucks that we had a president where it's like it's kind of hard to tell if he's losing his mind or not because he's always said goofy shit. And now here we have Trump, who it's like, man, he might be losing his mind. Have you seen his tweets recently? Well, his tweets have been crazy since 2012. Like, how do we keep ending up in this situation where we have old guys running the country and it's really hard to tell if they're losing it because they've always been a little bit that way. Like,
Dude, you're right.
how?
You're absolutely right. That's crazy.
Did you see, and I didn't pull it and I'm not gonna, but did you see the long tweet he had about the people that put a scratch in his marble floor?
Oh my gosh, he's not going to pay him.
No,
I
he
I
he
heard that.
He put him on blast. The president put a contractor on blast because they
Yeah,
were they were using like it's called a pallet jack and
yeah.
wheeling in stuff, and they scratched his. And he said, "I'm a builder. Surfaces are real important to me, and that's why I picked the blah blah blah." But like they came out and fixed it for free, and he
Yeah.
still put them on blast and said they're never going to be allowed to work in the White House grounds again. And it's like, dude, you're the president. And he's in the tweet, he made it sound like he went back and reviewed like days of security footage. And it's like, dude, you're the president. Like, why are you getting involved in this? Like, isn't there somebody that's in charge of all the restoration and projects on the
And
White
if they're
House
gonna
ground?
fix it, why are you like
Why,
that's 100% customer service, right?
they
You
came back
accidentally
out and
scratch a
fixed it,
floor, you fix
and,
it.
and he put them on blast as basically trying to say, hey, you're never going to work again, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
that's what is the
It's a
president
dick
doing?
move, is
It
what that's
is.
called.
I anyhow.
But you know how I really know he's in trouble or he's not doing well?
Okay.
He hasn't golfed.
So he was at his property. He was at one of his golf courses the last 2 days. Now, go ahead.
He was supposed to be in Bedminster or something, right?
Okay.
But the photos that they brought out were from like a year ago, and they had palm trees in the background, which was means it was the photos are
So
Mar-a-Lago.
That's the other, and like I want to be clear again. Like I don't know if I believe any of this shit about Trump's health, but like so yesterday, Saturday morning, they start putting out photos where it's like, oh, here's Trump at his golf course. He looks great to me. And it was never the White House. This is key. This was right-wing influencers, people that are connected, but they were like, oh, Trump at the White House. And every picture that came out, they were able to go back and go, no, this was actually from March of this year. This was from November of last year. The only one he posted himself was him playing golf with John Gruden. And it turns out John Gruden and him played golf together like 8 days ago. And just John Gruden put a picture of it up. And John Gruden was wearing the exact same outfit in the picture 8 days ago that he was in the picture from today that Trump put out. Now, maybe John Gruden only has one outfit he goes golfing in. I don't know. But that seemed like, hold on, wait, the president just posted this saying he golfed with John Gruden today, and they did golf 8 days ago together, and John Gruden was wearing the same thing in both pictures. Is he lying? Is he putting a picture up that was really 8 days ago? Or does John Gruden wear the same thing every time he golfs? I don't know. But that's just another, like, where what are we doing? Like, people are worried that America doesn't have a functioning president right now, and you guys are putting out pictures that seem suspect, to say the least.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's calling it. Everybody's kind of calling the same thing, and it just seems like this is like our president's. I mean, he's fucking 78 years old or whatever. Like his health is not gonna be great. Like, why are we like you said, why are we electing all these old people that are senile to begin with?
Yeah, you know what I keep seeing too, that it's just another element of the left is going to rub this in. Biden was with his daughter somewhere on a beach this weekend, and like there's all these pictures of him, and he's wearing shorts and like a beach shirt, and like he's Joe. He's sitting there smiling, eating ice cream, but everybody's like, look at this picture of Biden today or yesterday compared to Trump the last time we saw him, and Biden appears just through physical appearance to be in much better health. Now, when you listen to the two of them talk, neither of them sound good to me.
Neither one of them are great.
How odd is it going to be if Biden outlives Trump by like multiple years? It could totally happen.
It's not gonna be odd. Biden's in way better health. I mean, Biden was riding a bike up until like 5 years ago or something.
No,
right?
Just up until like 2 years ago, he was riding. He remembers he fell off.
When did he fall off his bike?
That was within the last 2 years.
Oh, I thought it was the first year of his presidency.
That was during his presidency. But also, that's the one thing I won't fault him for, because he was riding, and you know more about this than I do, but he was riding clipped in, and he pulled up and couldn't get unclipped and fell over. I tried that one time, and I'm never going to ride clipped in my life. That I would be on the ground all the time.
That's the thing, is like the first time I rode clipped in, I ate shit. And you're gonna eat. But once you figure out, like, it doesn't take a long time, but once you figure out how to clip and unclip, it's pretty easy.
But Biden's 80. Don't clip an 80-year-old man in.
Exactly. He's every once in a while, even if you're not 80, every once in a while you have an accident where you don't unclip as fast as you should have. And you get
That was a perfect like old man fall, because like he pulled up all nice and slow and was like, well, hey there, media, and then just like started to fall, and it was like a slow motion, like boom. Oh, Biden's down. So anyhow, we'll leave it there, but I'll just say this. I'm seeing so much about Trump's health right now, and how people are guessing this and guessing that. And the thing is, all the White House has to do is march him out there and put him on camera for a second, have him say a couple words to the media, and this would all be over with. So that's the only reason I'm giving this any credence whatsoever, is because they haven't done that yet, and I don't get it. And Trump hasn't gone 6 days without talking to the media in the last 10 years. Like he's not capable of doing that.
If something looks fishy tomorrow when they're supposed to wheel him out, that means something's really astrew.
If they do anything other than have Trump walk into a room, talk to the press, and then walk out, if he does that, then I'll say, okay, the left has been full of shit all weekend, whatever, wishful thinking on their part. But
they're saying that these mini strokes, you have these little mini strokes, and within like 3 or 4 days, you're back to normal. And then when you have another mini stroke, it takes you a day to regain like speech, and then a day to regain how you walk, and then another day for you to like rest. But in like every 4 days, you have like 4 days after a mini stroke, and you like heal back up, and then you have another one, and they just keep happening.
And that's my theory, that it's like plastic surgery or something, some kind of cosmetic surgery. The only reason that doesn't hold water is like Trump loves to do those where he calls into Fox and Friends in the morning, or calls into. So if it was just a physical appearance, he would have called into somewhere this weekend and talked to Bannon or somebody. But he
You're
didn't even
right.
do that. He didn't call in. All that there's been is his tweets, and his tweets. One of them, the one with the landscaping crew that supposedly scratched his marble, that sounded like him. That sounded very much like Trump. The rest of his tweets don't sound like him at all. There's no capital letter or capital words. Like it's not Trump style. It's like somebody else is tweeting as Trump, and they're not hitting it perfect. Like I
Did
don't
he
know.
do a Labor Day tweet today?
He did a tweet where he was mad because I want to get this right because you know how every now and then he'll say shit where I'm like nobody agrees with that. Why would you say that?
Oh my gosh.
What
So
did he
he
say?
did. Because I saw one, but it was from Memorial Day, I believe. Somebody else posted that again.
Was
And
it
I
the
was
one where
like,
he was saying we have too many days off?
yes, yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to find. He's like, we have too many holidays where people don't go to work, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, nobody that works is going to like this tweet. Like, I didn't know that was from Memorial Day.
I thought so that's I saw that this morning and I read it and I was like, he's doing this again? Like this is a nightmare. Like, why is he like trying to get rid of holidays? But then I looked it up tonight and I was like, okay, like this was from I need to get on True Social so we can like actually fact check this stuff because there's not really like
Yeah.
a accurate
Well,
fact
and every
check.
now and then I'll see, just like you're saying, where people will post a tweet from Trump and either it's photoshopped and it's not real at all, or it's from a year or two ago.
Yeah,
This
that's what
is
I'm thinking.
real quick. This was a tweet I saw today because the left has been going on and on about Trump's health, and the right hasn't been really. The right's kind of been quiet. They're not saying anything.
Yeah.
You know who Cat Turd is?
Yeah.
Cat, I don't know why we all know who Cat Turd is, but he's a voice on the right. And he tweeted tonight, he said, JD Vance, Don Jr., Melania, Ivanka, and Tiffany haven't posted in over 2 days. Unheard of. Melania was spotted at Walter Reed. Donald Trump hasn't said a word about his friend of 45 years, Rudy Giuliani.
Melania was spotted at Walter Reed.
So somebody said they were in the maternity ward and Melania was in there, and they said, "Oh well, she's just doing a tour of Walter Reed." But
She's getting an abortion.
no, the theory was that she was there to see Trump, but there's the cover story.
Did you
But
say
I don't.
maternity ward?
Yeah, somebody in the maternity ward or that was going to the maternity ward saw her. I
Oh,
don't know if they actually saw her there or not, or if they were actually in the maternity ward when they saw her. But that was a claim, and I don't know if I believe that. But it's like, oh well, what's she doing there? Yeah.
yeah.
Again, all they have to do is put him on camera for 5 seconds, and this is over. And they're not doing that. And that, and
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. If
you
something's fishy tomorrow, or he doesn't show up, or it's just a recorded video, like
or
we will know.
an official press release or something like a written thing,
Yeah.
like
If it's not him in front of the camera speaking to the American people, then something is awry.
okay.
Yeah.
And dude, we do have, just so you know, we have a busy news week this week because tomorrow we have Trump at 2 to figure out if he's doing okay or not.
Uh-huh.
The next day, Wednesday, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie have 10 of the Epstein victims that are coming to the Capitol to do a press conference on like the Capitol steps to try to bring
Sweet.
attention back to that. I'm sure Trump doesn't like that at all. And then on the 4th, the very next day, which will be Thursday, Bill Cassidy, the head of the Senate committee that oversees like CDC and HHS and all that, he's got RFK coming into Congress to testify about what's going on in front of the CDC or with the CDC and all the firings. He's basically bringing him in. And Cassidy, real quick, was the deciding vote to let RFK into his position, and he's catching so much shit for that now. But he has decided he's going to fix all this. So he's been on Twitter all weekend, like fact checking people, like all the pro RFK accounts. He's quote tweeting them and saying this is a flat out lie. Here's why. Like I've been a doctor my whole life. I've treated people with this and stuff about hepatitis C vaccine or what. I don't know. I don't know anything about
So
vaccines.
Massey's actually a doctor?
No, this is Bill Cassidy. Bill
Bill
Cassidy from
Cassidy,
Louisiana. So Massey and Khanna are doing the Epstein stuff, and then Bill Cassidy is he's a senator from Louisiana, and he's in charge of the committee that oversees HHS and the CDC. So that's the next 3 days. We got Trump tomorrow, Ro Khanna and Massey with Epstein stuff the next day, and then RFK on the Hill to testify on Thursday. So busy week.
That is a busy week. I like it. Okay.
So anyhow, I only have one major thing to talk about tonight. You got anything you want to get to?
What maybe. I've got a couple things.
Maybe.
What is yours?
Tariff related with India.
Oh, India. Yeah, I've got India on my list.
All right. Well, let me get into India real quick, then I'll let you finish us out. You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is a little backstory for everybody. India and Russia, or India really and the Soviet Union, had been pretty tied at the hip for a long ass time. And because we're trying to, I don't want to say hurt China, but trying to not be dependent on China, the only other place we could get things made cheaply is India. So for the past 20 years, we've been trying to lure India away from the Soviet Union slash Russia and get them cool with us because that'll help us negotiating against China. It's like, oh, well, we don't need you, China. We could get our stuff made cheaply in India. So that has been our strategic plan for 20 or 30 years now. And it was working. We were getting India closer and closer to us. And really, I'll give Trump props during Trump's first term. Like Trump and Modi, the president of India, they get along real well. Like Trump helped us in that a lot in his first term. So India and Pakistan had a little dust up, which they've been fighting for 75 years. Like in this, so India and Pakistan were all one country back in the day. Britain, they were part of the United Kingdom, so Britain basically oversaw that country. And when Britain basically lost all of its colonies around the world, it became India. So India and Pakistan and Bangladesh were all one. India is Hindu, and Pakistan and Bangladesh are Muslim. And it basically wasn't working out, so they basically split into three countries technically. But that was all one country back in the day. And since then, they've been fighting. There's disputed land between like the border between Pakistan and India. There's certain areas that each side claims. I don't know the whole history of it, but they've been fighting over there for a long time.
It doesn't sound like anything that's happening across the world.
It happens in a lot of places. But there was a dust up where, violence, it was looking like they could, I feel like every couple of years there's a thing like, oh, these two, and they both have nuclear weapons. This could be bad. And then it always kind of fizzles out. That happened. Trump claims he solved it. He says he solved the war that's been going on for 75 years. The leader of Pakistan is on Trump's side. He's like, yes, we couldn't have done this without Donald Trump. Modi has said from the start, no, Trump didn't have anything to do with this. Like, we figured this out with Pakistan. Trump had nothing to do with it. The New York Times wrote an article that just came out like 2 days ago, and they got some explosive reporting. I don't know how true it is, but they say that during a phone call, apparently Trump had said numerous times to Modi leading up to this that, hey, like, I helped solve that war. Like, you should probably mention that for the Nobel Peace Prize stuff. And Modi never took the bait. So they had a phone call within the last month or so, and he brought it up again, kind of more forcefully. He was like, "Hey, like I helped you solve this war. Like you need to help me get a Nobel Peace Prize." And I guess Modi went off on him, and Modi said, "Dude, like you had nothing to do with that. We solved it on our own. I'm not." And it was a tense call, and they hung up mad at each other. Like it didn't go well. And then the next day, Trump came out, and that's when he upped the tariffs on India to 50%. And he said he was doing it because they buy Russian oil. This article is saying really it had nothing to do with that. He was mad at Modi for not helping him get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Of course.
Ego. Yeah, ego 100%. I think he thought that they would buckle to the 50% tariff and come crawling back to us begging for help, and it's not happening that way at all. I've got a video real quick. President Xi of China had a little a summit this weekend with Russia and India to help strengthen their ties. In this video, you're going to see President Modi of India, Putin of Russia, and Xi of China, and they look like BFFs. Let me tell you. Check this out real quick, then we're going to talk about it.
I've never seen Trump and Putin hold hands.
No, I mean they all seem to be pretty close, didn't they?
They were walking and holding hands together.
Yep, and then there's pictures of Modi and Putin in a limousine together, and they were smiling and laughing and waving to the crowd.
Hold on, what cultural? Like, why are they holding hands? Is that an Indian culture, or is that's not Russian culture? That's got to be Indian culture.
I'm gonna say it's Indian.
Yeah, India culture. Okay.
Yeah.
So Putin is adhering to India's culture by holding hands with.
Oh, because if you're
Putin is completely anti-gay.
He is. Yes, they don't like gay people in Russia.
Okay.
If you're Putin and Xi, like Putin, so Trump is right to say this, but Trump has been saying that, like, oh, the way that Biden handled Ukraine is only pushing China and Russia closer together. And, like, yeah, but also, like, okay, what else do you want him to do? Like, is there, if you're complaining about it, you better have a different solution of how he could do this. But he's right. Like, overall, China and Russia becoming closer together is bad for America. So we don't like that. But then you bring in India. Let's back up here. We talked about this months ago, but China signed a trade alliance with the ASEAN countries. I can't remember all of Cambodia, blah, blah, blah. So they pretty much have all of that part of the country locked down where they're a unified front for trade. They also brought.
And
okay.
So we have the G7, which is the counterpart to the ASEAN countries, right?
To a degree. Different things, but yeah.
But the value that the ASEAN countries have is higher than the G7.
I see what you're saying. Yes. As far as a trading block, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Which means that we don't have as much trading power. The trading power that we're trying to wield right now is way less than what the ASEAN countries have, which is what China's the America of the ASEAN countries, right?
Once China joined with the ASEAN countries, yes, they are the biggest trading bloc. They are better. They're bigger than anything in Europe. So now you had China join with the ASEAN countries, and then you had them bring Vietnam and South Korea in, and they're not locked in, but they have some trade deals together. Now you've got Russia and India joining that. Like, I don't want to be hyperbolic here, but, like, we're fucked if that. Like, I mean, that's.
Well, and hold on, like, America doesn't have a home because we're kind of teetering on the edge of, like, being Putin's ally and China's ally, and, like, we're kind of teetering on that edge, but at the same time, we're just disenfranchising. Let's just go Canada, Mexico, and all of Europe.
Yep.
Like, we're just putting ourselves America first, right? It's like we're just going to do our own thing.
And we're kind of doing the whole we don't need Europe type thing.
Yeah.
But if we don't have Europe, I mean, and I think I played a video of this a couple weeks ago, but, like, that's the strength of America is its alliances. Like, if you come after America, you're coming after all these other countries as well.
100%.
We're undoing that. Also, we haven't talked about this, and I'm not prepared to, but, like, we have ships and, like, 4,000 Marines off the coast of Venezuela right now, acting like we're about to attack them. They're mobilizing their army in response to it. Well, that'll be for the next episode because I don't know enough about it. But, like, what are we doing there? But
it's so wild.
Let's get back though to India real quick. Like, we're clearly, if this comes to fruition, which it totally seems like it's gonna, Russia, India, and China, along with the ASEAN countries and Vietnam and South Korea versus America, we lose hands down. And that's the strength of alliances. Now, if we still had all of Europe in our corner, which we kind of do, like, not really, but kind of, like, maybe
not with this president,
it'd be a little bit closer of a fight. But, like, China, when we started screwing around with the European Union, China ran in there immediately and tried to make nice with all them. And now China's allowed to sell their BYD cars over there and all that. So, like, China's quick anytime we step back from an area, China jumps right in to take our spot. And
we did an episode on the BYD cars, and, like, they're apparently the best cars in the world, the best electric cars in the world.
That's
in terms of niceness, cheapness, and reliability.
Yeah, that's what I keep reading. And their battery technology is apparently far superior to whatever we have here. So
Toyota's about to come out with battery technologies that's gonna blow everybody away, though.
But, I mean, right now, Toyota's having because I saw they're one of the companies that they lost money last quarter because of the tariffs. So if Toyota's willing to sell their cars in them, which they make the parts in Japan or Japan, I think, and then they ship them over here and they're assembled here in Dallas, where me and you're both from. There's a big Toyota plant. Like,
they make Tundras there.
We should be happy with that, but nope, we're going to tariff each one of those parts that comes in.
So stupid.
It makes no sense. But real quick, the whole thing with India, China, and Russia and the ASEAN countries, like, the American media has been kind of silent on it. Like, nobody's talking about it, and it's a big deal. And finally, because of this whole summit that Xi put together, now they're kind of having to talk about it and how screwed we are. So Peter Navarro got asked about it on Fox. I want to play this for you real quick, but, like, he's kind of doing this, like, I don't know why India would be cozying up to them. We're forcing them to through tariffs. Like, what's funny is as he's saying, I don't know why, read the little scroll at the bottom and see what it says. And it's like, that's the answer why. But here, real quick, this is Navarro on Fox.
Look, Modi's a great leader. I don't understand why he's getting to bed with Putin and Xi Jinping when he's the biggest democracy in the world. So I would just simply say to the Indian people, please understand what's going on here. You got Brahmins profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. We need that to stop.
Yeah, and we'll be watching.
So I don't know why, and at the bottom it says Trump imposes 50% tariff. That's why. I mean, it's very upsetting. But at least now they're talking about it.
I'm watching these Fox News hosts. Whenever you show me these Fox News things, I'm watching their faces, and they're all just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, why is Trump ruining this country? How could anybody have seen what was going to happen if Trump was president again?
And that's what. There's so much of this was telegraphed, and like even like the people like Joe Rogan and whatnot, they're like, whoa, like I didn't think he was going to be deporting like the good people. And it's like, do you remember at the rallies when they had the mass deportations? What were you paying attention to? What you're shot like just in the last couple of days now, there's a big push online about birth control. They want to get rid of birth control just overall. They're saying that the birth control affects women's hormones and makes them more emotional, and it leads to this and this, and it's bad for society. Basically, it messes with their hormones and it messes girls up. And like Elon Musk is retweeting stuff, and he's all concerned about birth replacement rates and whatnot. But like people are now starting to be like, whoa, Republicans, Trump voters are starting to go, hold on, wait, are they going to go after birth control? And it's like that was in Project 2025. Did nobody read? So much of this was telegraphed, and now people are acting shocked. It's like, well, I didn't think he was going to put tariffs on everybody. He kept talking about tariffs the whole run up to the election. Like, what do you mean you didn't think he was going to do it?
Right.
It's irritating.
I'm going to share this with you because this is world population clock.
Okay.
Who's afraid that we're not having enough humans being born right now?
So what you're missing here is the key part of this, because does that break down by race or religion or anything?
Nope. It does by region. Okay, by religion.
So here's the thing: is Elon, even though he doesn't say it directly, what he's afraid about is Western civilization basically being decimated because the Muslims and the Hindus and all the other people are reproducing. They're like reproducing 3 people for every 2 or something like that, and we're doing 1.4 or whatever. I can't remember the numbers, but
right.
And that's what that all boils down to is what do they call it, the Great Replacement theory or whatever that Tucker Carlson always used to talk about is white people are and we've been hearing this my whole life, but like sooner or later white people are not going to be the majority in America. Like it's just a matter of time. And that's what they don't like. They want white Christians to start reproducing more because they're getting outbred by all the other people.
It has to be white Christians.
Yes, white Christians. That's how that's Western civilization. They're afraid that Western civilization is being erased.
But that's not okay. I don't know. Does it matter? Does it fucking matter? Really?
Yeah. So it really, and
I said, there's too many people in Earth right now. Like, why does it matter if it's white Christians that we need more of them and less of the other people? Like, this is so stupid. We're all fucking people.
What they would say is that's our heritage, our culture. That's a better word. Our culture is going to be wiped out unless white Christians start having more babies.
Maybe the world would be a better place.
Whatever religion takes over, I think it's going to be bad no matter what. I don't see one. Who are the people that believe in
except for the Buddhists? I mean, what are the Buddhists? The Buddhists are like the most peaceful culture ever. Like,
that's what we need. We need a Buddhist takeover. They believe in karma and being kind to all God's creatures and all that. Yeah, be a lot of Zen,
peace,
yeah,
peace on earth.
They're not going to be the ones to take over. So
let's do it.
Yeah, that's what they're mainly scared about is like Muslims and Sharia law. Like that's what they're afraid of. And brown people, these brown people in general.
They don't like brown people.
Just in general, yeah. Unless they're playing on our sports team, in which case, go brown guy. So it's kind of where it's at. So with all this, I think we've lost India. I think the way Trump's treating Modi right now and the way that Xi and Putin are kissing Modi's ass, I think we've lost India. But like
Yeah.
The only thing that can save us right now, and this is going to be such a double-edged sword, but the Supreme Court is going to rule at some point in the next month and a half on tariffs. And if they say the tariffs are illegal, that's Trump's best out right now. Like if he wants to get out of this mess, he can go, oh, well, I tried, the Supreme Court wouldn't let me, and then he can say forever, if only the Supreme Court would have let me, America would be doing great, but it's not doing great right now because of the Supreme Court. So like this
Sure.
is his best out. He should be honestly hoping that they rule it illegal. Now, the downside of that, he did the tax cuts for the wealthy, and we still got to have the same amount of income coming into the government. So to replace that tax money, he did the tariffs, which is basically all people, mainly the lower income people, paying that difference that we lost from the rich people getting the tax break, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So if we take away tariffs, like everybody, including myself, I'm a deficit hawk. The debt and deficit is going to skyrocket because we did the tax cuts for the ultra wealthy, and it's supposed to be replaced by the tariffs. And now, if there's no tariffs, we're just gonna the American government, and to fix that, he's gonna say, well, now we have to cut more things, and the first thing he's gonna try to cut are Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps. Like we're not cutting the military, buddy. I can tell you right now, that's
No.
not on the block. So
No. And then you know what's going to happen is just like poor people are just going to start dying,
yeah.
which yeah,
If you're RFK, apparently one of the guys that quit the CDC said that RFK is into eugenics and survival of the fittest, and like maybe some people shouldn't live. Like that seems to be the thought process. And the other
okay, but
thing,
if you're trying to like build a white Christian country, like don't you want more people? Like they want more people,
they
not
want
less people.
they want more white Christians, and there's
But
this thing.
they're killing the white Christians by cutting SNAP.
So in I don't know how, like, they have to know this, but like when you talk to a lot of Republicans, and I don't think they'll say this outright, but like in their mind, they're like, yeah, all those people abusing food stamps. And when they say that, and I'm totally speculating, but they're picturing not white people when they say that. They're picturing immigrants, not your standard white Christian. But in reality, like
It's them.
75% of the people on food stamps are white Christian people. But nobody likes to believe that. They like to believe it's all these immigrants coming in
Right.
and abusing it. It's
Well,
not.
these red states like Alabama and Mississippi, they don't call it SNAP. They don't call it
Yeah.
Medicaid. They don't call it Social Security. They call it something else so that their people don't actually think that that's
Well, that's how in Oklahoma here, Medicare is called Sooner Care or something like that. And
okay.
people are like, yeah, get rid of Medicare. And then at some point they found out that, oh, hold on, wait, Sooner Care is Medicare? And oh, shit, I'm on Sooner Care. And they
Yeah.
had no clue that, anyhow,
Yeah,
it's
and
dumb.
this is a trick that they do. And also I've been like watching these things where it shows that like California pays, billions of dollars into the federal government, but only takes out, a percentage of that, right?
Yeah,
And like all these red states are basically, and I think we've talked about this, but
we
like
have.
like Mississippi, for every dollar it pays in, it gets back like $5 from the
So
US government.
Alabama, Mississippi, Oklahoma, um, there's donor states and welfare states, and for the most part, the top 10 donor states are blue states, and I think there's a couple red sprinkled in, but the majority of it's blue. And then when you look at the welfare
Right.
states, most of them are red.
Yeah. Yeah. But and here's the thing is like if you're in a donor state, like and you're able to be in a donor state and your politicians are able to run for elected office and get and a lot of these like I'm guessing in Oklahoma, all of your elected office are running on cheaper taxes, right?
Yeah.
So they're running on cheaper taxes, which means they pay less into the federal government, which means their welfare state goes more and more into debt, right?
So I'm not 100% on this, but I feel confident in this. Like in Oklahoma, for example, my governor cannot do anything about federal taxes. So because you have federal taxes and state taxes, so they can lower the state property tax, the state income tax, blah blah, but they cannot change the federal tax rate. Only that can be done by Congress. So if they try to say we're going to pay less taxes in Oklahoma, if the state's doing that, the same amount of money is still going to the federal government. They can just affect state taxes, which in
Okay.
Oklahoma, it's a step. When I moved up here, I was like, man, gas is like 20 cents cheaper than it is in Texas. Just as soon as you cross the border, it's cheaper. But the roads in Oklahoma are god awful terrible. Like just we have the worst roads I've ever seen in the nation. And it turns out that like of the gas tax, like a big percentage of the gas tax goes towards roads. Like that's what it's there for. And it's a weird handoff where it's like, okay, I'm paying 20 cents less per gallon, but I'm driving on shitty roads constantly. And like there are times where I'm like, you know what? I'd almost rather pay 20 cents more a gallon and have good roads. I don't know for sure that I feel that way, but I'm back and forth on it.
Well,
So.
if you didn't drive a pickup truck, like you'd be
Yeah.
bouncing around all the time, your shocks should be going out more often. Like,
It's pretty
it's
terrible.
more of a tax on your car, and you have to like replace suspension stuff more often.
Yeah. Well, and real quick, backing up to the Supreme Court and the tariffs. We said last time if the Supreme Court rules that Trump legally cannot do the tariffs, his two options at that point are to just say, okay, I give up, or to try to get Congress to pass something, either giving him tariff power or codify the tariffs he wants to put in place. That would be suicidal going into the midterms. And I keep seeing people like Republicans that are like, no, 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 the American people understand what's going on with the tariffs. They don't. I got a video right here from CNN. This is going to talk about some polling on inflation. Check this out. This is Harry Enton.
Let me just say, this is an abject disaster. Abject disaster for the President of the United States. You mentioned it, Jessica. Look, voters on Trump and inflation. He won the 2024 election because he was more entrusted on inflation than Kamala Harris was, led by a margin of 9 points. Look at where his net approval stands today, though, on inflation. My goodness gracious. Into the gutter we go, underwater we go. He's 25 points underwater. My goodness gracious. That is where the Little Mermaid is, and he is matching the Little Mermaid. That's how far underwater he is on the issue that got him elected. He led on by 9 points on it last year, and now he's 25 points underwater. As I said, this is a complete and total disaster for the President of the United States.
I like that guy.
Harry Enton's pretty good. But so the American public is divided, and this is where Biden went wrong. Inflation was truly causing a problem. People could feel it in their wallets. Every time you went to the store, things cost more. And Biden and the Biden White House kept trying to say, no, 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 the economy is actually really good right now. And nobody was buying it. And even me and you were talking about it. It was like, all the numbers look good, but Americans have less money in their pocket. But if you just point at GDP or the stock market.
Because prices of beef and everything were going up. Everything was going up. But he was also bringing inflation down at the same time.
Well, he was, but it was still too high. And all that Biden had to do was say, hey, I understand that Americans are hurting right now. I'm trying to help. He just had to sympathize with them a little bit, but they refused. They wanted to say, hey, what we're doing is working and the economy's doing great, and nobody was buying it. Trump is making the exact same mistake right now where, like, people can feel it. Things aren't going well, and the White House keeps trying to say, no, 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 there is no inflation. Everything's good. No, when you go to the store, you realize that your dollar isn't going as far as it used to.
Yeah, but here's the thing is like, okay, let's just say during the pandemic, so let's take eggs. Eggs is a good example because just recently we had the bird flu. Egg prices went up to like $12 a dozen, right?
But everybody was saying that was Biden's fault, but
everybody was saying it was Biden's fault, which it was really just because of the pandemic. But anyway, egg prices have gone down now, but they're still higher than they were previous to the pandemic or whatever.
Yes.
They're like, nothing's ever going to go down
without a huge recession. And the only way prices go down is with a recession.
Right, because companies want to keep making that money.
Yeah.
They're going to and what happened during the recession? Like you buy a box of Cheerios, maybe you're paying the same price, but you're getting way less Cheerios.
Do you know what they call that?
Shrinkflation?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we're already starting to see because the government wants really bad to be able to point at the inflation numbers and go, see, look, it's not that bad. But what's happening is we're getting less bang for our buck, basically. We used to get
100%.
That, and somebody was saying this on the news the other day, but like it used to be 4 chicken breasts in a pack, and now it's only 3 chicken breasts in a pack, but it's the same price. Or the amount of ounces in a bag of chips is down, but the price is the same. That's what we're going to deal with.
It's insane right now. And that's because we're getting all our beef from Brazil,
which is tariffed.
Well, yeah, which is tariffed like at 40% or something right now.
Something ridiculous.
We are. This is insane.
Yeah.
What's going on, and I don't understand. Like we have beef here, right?
Not enough to feed all of us, but yes,
we make beef here, but we ship beef. We ship beef across wherever.
Mm-hmm.
But we also just import beef from Brazil.
Which is the weirdest thing is that the Trump administration really wants to be able to ship our meat to like Europe, and they're mad because Europe won't take our meat because we put all the hormones and stuff we put in our meat. But you're exactly right. It's like, well, hold on, wait, why are we trying to export meat if we're also importing meat? Like,
Yeah,
why don't we just
yeah,
try to use? And
exactly.
I guarantee it comes down to cost. Like a steak from an American ranch probably costs a lot more than a steak from a Brazilian ranch without tariffs. I'm going to bet. I'm just without looking at it at all. I'm going to bet that's the case.
Sure. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that makes
So.
sense. So then we import all the Brazilian beef, and then we export all our beef, and
We don't. I mean, we export some of our beef. I'm sure we use some of it here. We probably use most of it here, but we are trying to export some of it. And
the Trump administration is trying to export more.
yeah, they're mad. They want Europe to take our beef. Our beef. What there was a clip where Pino Navarro was like, "We have beautiful beef, and they won't take it."
Yeah.
Like,
they won't take it. Why won't they take it, Peter Navarro? I wish somebody would push back on him because
it's all the crap we put in it. So
yeah, exactly, exactly.
So, anyhow, that's where I'm at right now. Real quick on just to finish up with India. Like I think we've lost this. Like the next president can't come in and suddenly make things better with China, India, Russia, the ASEAN countries. Like I think this is the new norm. Like, the world order as far as trade has been reset, and we are not the big kid on the block anymore. Like we used to be,
Well,
and I don't think we are anymore.
When JD Vance takes control, like that's not going to switch it. It's going to have to be somebody completely and utterly. It's going to have to be a Democrat or a. I don't even know if the Democrats can do it. Like
I don't. Like I said, I mean these trade agreements they're binding and they run for a certain amount of years. Like if say a Democrat wins in 2028, like all these countries over in like the China sphere of the world aren't suddenly be, oh thank God, okay, hey, sorry China, we're back with America. Like no, that's not how it's going to happen. Hey,
and we don't have any trade agreements with anybody anymore, right?
we have a couple that haven't been like written out yet. We've got a
We
couple
don't have
verbal.
we don't have any binding trade agreements with. We have zero binding trade agreements with zero countries right now.
The closest is the UK, or sorry, the EU, the European Union, and that still isn't like a formally signed agreement yet, but we have started to see some of the text of the agreement, but nothing.
We have
official.
zero signed agreements with any country. We don't have any.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're correct on that. So
is that bad?
That's terrible. It's really bad. I mean, we had trade agreements with every country, and Trump came in and ripped them all up and said, "I'm going to
every single trade agreement apart."
Pretty much, he said we're going to do 90 deals in 90 days to replace all the stuff he undid, and we have yet to do one, and that was April 9th is when the 90-day clock started, and we are now at September 1st, and we have 5 kind of trade deals that are not written out yet.
Europe being the closest one, which they recently just said, like, no, we didn't say that.
Yeah, the EU and the EU one, they said because Trump said that they were going to give us like $600 billion to invest however we wanted, and they're like, no, that's not in this text anywhere. We didn't. Same thing with Japan, I think, or Japan or Vietnam. One of them was going to give us all this money, and they immediately said, hey, we never agreed to that. So he keeps trying to sweeten the pot. Like if he just said, hey, America and Japan came to a trade agreement, that's a really good deal, we'd all be like, yay. But for some reason, he's like, and they're going to give us $500 billion. They're like, no, we're not. Like, we never said we were going to do that.
Have you asked a intelligent Republican about this yet?
I take issue with the whole intelligent. I know a lot of Republicans, and they're all very intelligent. So I'm gonna put that out there. When it comes to the trade stuff, the couple that I've talked to about it are not. They're not being as Homer team as I thought they would be. They're kind of saying they're like, this doesn't seem like it's going good. Like, and none of them are saying they're upset yet, but they're letting me know they're like, yeah, this doesn't seem to be going the way Trump thought it would. So like they're skeptical, is what I'll say. They're not ready to give up, though. A lot of them will tell me some skeptical stuff and then say, but, I mean, I trust Trump and I think in the long run he's going to do it. But right now it's not looking so good. That's kind of that's what I'm getting as a response.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to wrap my mind around this. Like, so they're thinking everything's kind of skeptical. Nothing's really looking good, but like
they're doubting it.
They're putting like, let me use the most influential phrase in the human dictionary, faith. They're putting faith in Trump at this point.
They didn't say this, but the kind of the tone is basically like, well, he's never done wrong so far, so I'm going to keep trusting him. Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's never done wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Crazy.
And yeah,
Crazy.
hey, real quick, and I just thought about this, but less than 2 weeks ago, we did our predictions on whether or not Trump was going to make it through the term or not. And both of us said we thought he would make it through the term, but that it would get bad towards the end, but he would still be president. Based off the last 6 days, are you
Whew.
revising that at all?
Whew. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to hold off on my prediction until tomorrow.
After tomorrow, too, we might be changing predictions. So,
Well, and I didn't say I said he wasn't going to make it through the term, but
I thought
I
you
mean,
said he did. I thought you said he was going to make it.
oh, maybe I did.
Yeah, you were
But
back and forth.
it was going to be rough. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you said towards the end
Yeah.
it would be like the end of Biden, where it's like, oh my God, he's losing it. But you said he would finish his term, is what you said.
He's already losing it, man. And he's like he hasn't been seen for 6 days, 7 days.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm just very disappointed in Republicans.
I gotta say,
MAGA.
I've never looked forward this much to Trump speaking as I am to him speaking tomorrow too. Like
gonna be
never have
tough.
I heard, hey, Trump's talking tomorrow, and I've been like, oh boy, I hope I don't miss that. Like,
Do
but
you know what time it is?
tomorrow at 2 o'clock is when he's
Dude,
2 o'clock Eastern, so 1 o'clock Central, noon your time.
noon my time.
Yeah, you're 1 hour behind me. So yeah, so I can't wait. I hope for the sake of our country, I hope he's fine. Because like if tomorrow they say it's a Trump announcement and then it's like some written release statement and like we don't see Trump again,
Yeah.
like that's not good. Like so just from at home people worrying about our president, but like our adversaries across the world, if they think that the leader of the U.S. is not there or not coherent, whatever it is, like that's when people try to pull some shit. Like, so for the safety of the world, like if our president's doing okay, get him on camera because people are starting to doubt this.
Right. Well, I mean, remember how when JD Vance went and visited the Pope
And yeah,
and the next day things went awry for the Pope and it wasn't good.
very possibly completely unrelated.
He died,
so
right?
Yeah, but
No,
probably
no,
unrelated.
Hold on.
Okay.
Follow this. Putin recently visited Trump.
Okay. So I've seen rumors, which Trump has had the bruising on his hand since before the Alaska summit, but
Yeah.
people were speculating online that like when Putin shook his hand, he hit him with some kind of nerve agent or something.
Oh, we've all seen the movie. What was that called? With North Korea and
Oh, the interview.
the interview.
Yeah.
We've all seen the interview.
Which is a very factual movie that we should all be looking to right
100%,
now.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Documentary.
Seth
Best
Rogen
documentary
makes
ever.
factual movies. Let's be clear on this. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. They're trying to say, oh, the bruising is from whatever Putin shook his hand and had on. No, he's had the bruising since well before that, so I don't buy that. That's just,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, the skeptic in me. We've talked about this before, but I firmly believe in Occam's razor. Like the most simple theory is most often the correct theory. And every time I see the left being like, oh, he probably had a stroke and he can't talk and this and that, like until you show me some evidence, I don't believe it. But again, all the White House needs to do is put him in front of the cameras for 5 minutes, and they're not doing it. That's weird.
Yeah.
And
okay. It's hard to buy this though. It's hard to buy it.
One, you could make the argument and say, oh, maybe Trump sees that everybody thinks he's dying, and he's doing this to further that for some reason. But like, no, Trump doesn't want to look weak at all, and this makes it look like Trump might be frail and unhealthy. And
He's 78 years old.
I know.
Jeez, just be fucking frail. Go be a frail old man. Stop trying to be a fucking dictator. You can't be a dictator at 78 years old.
Again,
This is the problem.
You know what the real problem is here for real though? Because me and you didn't say crap about Biden up until the debate. Once the debate happened is when we were like, oh shit, get him out of there.
Yeah.
But up until the debate, me and you both, people were like, oh, Biden looks old and senile. And we were like, Biden's fine. So we don't have any leg to stand on as far as getting on the Republicans for this. Like, we really don't. We blew our credibility on this issue. I hate it, but we both, I wouldn't say we ran cover for Biden, but we chose to see the best possible outcome. We're like, oh, no. But Biden's old, but he's fine. And then the debate happened, and we both went, oh, shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, when Biden, yeah. when Biden had that debate, it was like, oh, that is what
But
is like we knew, we all knew, and we talked shit about Biden before that. He's old.
but
He's old and
but
was
we always said
mumbly and bumbly.
he's old, but he's still making good decisions. But he's old. That's what we said.
And we also said that like not only was it wasn't him making good decisions, it was the people that he had hired.
He had a
The
good
people
team
in his
around him.
administration were keeping things in line and being
Yeah,
dignitary, which I still stand by.
yeah. For the most part, he had a good team around him.
I mean, does Trump have a good team around him?
No, Bissent is the best part of his cabinet, and I don't really care for Bissent.
Bissent is the best part of his cabinet.
That's what they people say that if it wasn't for Bissent, like
The Barbie house guy?
yeah, Bissent is the only one because Navarro and Lutnick would really like to be a lot more just out. I want to say brash with the tariffs and all the economic policy, and Bissent is the one person that's kind of keeping Trump from doing it. That's what everybody says. All the smart economic guys say that without Bissent, we'd be totally screwed right now.
Okay.
So,
Okay. It's hard to believe that. I feel like he's part of the problem.
Again, he's the reason, like when Trump first put on the tariffs and then he decided to pause it for 90 days, like that was Bissent. Bissent came running in, and remember this was the funniest story, but they waited until Navarro had to go to a meeting across the street, and as soon as Navarro left, Bissent came running in to get Trump's attention and showed him all the stuff, and then before Navarro could get back, he had Trump in front of cameras giving a 90-day pause, and when Navarro got back, he was pissed because he didn't want to do that. So Bissent and Navarro are definitely at odds on all this.
But we have all the tariffs on now, so what is Bissent doing? He's just kind of, I mean, I guess easing into it, like going on the tariffs, off tariffs, and on the tariffs, kind of gave it an ease. Because if he would have just given the tariffs, like put the tariffs on the first day in office or the first week in office or whatever,
yeah,
and like stuck with them, the economy would have just cratered, right?
You know, you could make the argument though that it would have been really bad short term, but then we would have adjusted by now and we kind of would figure out what we're going to do. And the fact that he's on, off, like nobody knows how to react. And that's part of the problem we're in now is that it's back and forth.
Yeah.
So it could have been better to just do it and stick to it.
I feel like he's just on it now. How long have we been on the tariffs?
Well, we're still not fully on the tariffs. Like the China, because China's the one that's going to hurt the most. And he gave another extension in China around August 10th, roughly. So China has like another 90 days. Like all the other tariffs, like you'll see little inflation parts here and there, but like when the China tariffs happen, that's when it will be very noticeable all over that the tariffs are hurting us.
Dude, I was looking at Nikon lenses today for my camera.
How bad?
Oh, really bad. Like 25%, I'm guessing. I don't know. What is Japan at?
Japan's at 20, I think.
U.S. tariffs, yeah.
15 or 20 for 20.
I think it was. I was guessing 25.
But there's all kinds of carve outs, and that's where like it's like Japan is 20%, except for these items and these items, and like so it's not easy to, you can't just say, oh, that must be 20%. Like it depends.
Japan eats a lot of rice and it imposes tariffs on foreign rice to protect. Oh, sometimes as high as 700%. Okay. Japan, U.S. tariffs. Nikon. Let's see. Yeah, it went up pretty 15%.
Okay, sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 15%, but the lenses definitely went up at least 20, if not 25. So.
Yeah. Anyhow, what else you got for tonight?
All right, I've got two things.
Okay.
I guess I'll ask you this first. What do you know about why Israel just bombed Yemen?
You know what? And that I should have been prepared to talk about this. I don't know why they did, but I know that they assassinated the leader and the cabinet of Yemen, which, if you think about it, if any other country like blew up the president of another country and the whole cabinet, like that would be immediate war. Like that, I don't see how it was very weird because that happened and it was just kind of like, oh yeah, Israel blew up the leader of Yemen and his entire cabinet. Moving on, and like it's kind of not a big deal like that.
So the Houthis are in charge of Yemen, right?
Okay.
That's kind of the Houthis
they're in charge of the biggest portion of Yemen. Yemen's really being run by like 3 different groups. The Houthi rebels have the biggest portion of Yemen.
And we call them the Houthi rebels, which they're just called the Houthi, right?
Yeah, we call them the rebels.
Okay.
And they were the rebelling party because the Yemen was run by a different group, and the Houthis rose up and overthrew that other part. But in the process, the country was in civil war for years, and then other groups like ISIS or Al Qaeda, one or the other, has like a good chunk of Yemen now that's like just theirs because like during all the fighting, other groups just grabbed parts of the land and said this is ours now. So
Israel just killed this group of people.
I mean, I don't know why for sure. I know that the Houthis have been bombing ships going through the Strait of Hormuz or something like that. It's a tight little gap.
We fixed that, didn't we?
Well, so they agreed to stop bombing as long as aid was being allowed into Gaza. They're the only group really around the world that was sticking up for the Palestinians in Gaza. And at one point they said, we're going to keep bombing every ship we can that comes through here until Israel lets food in. And then Israel agreed to let food in, kind of, and they backed off of that. And as far as I know, recently they haven't been attacking ships in that strait. I could be wrong.
So the Houthi rebels are kind of the good guys.
They're not the good guys, but they are the only people in that one scenario. When it comes to sticking up for the Palestinians in Gaza, you could call them the good guys. In a lot of
what are they doing that's bad?
Oh, I mean, they're religious fundamentalists. That like, if you I'm not.
So are the Christian Americans.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying if you read up on what the Houthis are doing, there's a lot that you would not like. There's a lot that you can't get behind. That's all I'm saying.
But for when it comes to Gaza and Israel, like they're the only ones standing up against Israel.
Yes.
Okay.
That is true.
Okay. Man, I mean, this is interesting because Israel just keeps starting wars with other countries, and the U.S. is basically going to be paying for these wars.
Well, yes. What's funny is like Yemen, like everybody's been bombing Yemen. Us, Saudi Arabia, Israel, like you can kind of bomb Yemen without fear of anything happening. Like it sounds terrible, but like forever, like even during the Obama years, we were not officially bombing Yemen, but we were giving
bombing Yemen.
Yeah, Obama. We weren't bombing Yemen, but we were giving missiles and rockets to Saudi Arabia for free for them to shoot to where we could keep our hands clean, to where we could be like, no, it's not us, it's Saudi Arabia. But we were fully funding them and doing it.
Okay. Yeah. So they're an issue, I guess, or
the problem is
them an issue.
If Yemen is still in civil war and lawless, like where I said, you have, I think it's Al Qaeda, I could be wrong, could be ISIS, but one of them took over like a third of the country, and it becomes like a breeding ground and a training ground for terrorist groups who want to do harm to America. So it would be in our interest. Hear me out. It would be in our interest to get things calmed down over there, to get some government to take hold and make sure that ISIS is not allowed to flourish in Yemen. That's the reason we initially got involved. Now, we're not trying to like build a democracy over there. We're just bombing people. So the idea was good, but what we're actually doing isn't going to achieve the result that we would need. So it's kind of dumb.
I'm really tired of this term, terrorist.
I mean, I think it applies.
I feel like it's a term that our government and other governments throw around.
Okay. To
get us to create enemies. And if the Houthis had bombed and killed Netanyahu, they would be considered terrorists.
Yes.
But when Netanyahu and the Israelis bomb Yemen, they are not terrorists.
Yes.
When they bomb the cabinet, right?
So I think you're right. I think you're very right, but let me help you shape this a little bit. There are terrorists. Like there are 100% organizations out there that their one goal is to be terrorists against the West, whether it be America or England or whatever. There are those groups, but we've gotten really loosey-goosey with that phrase. And if anybody does anything we like, we can be like, oh, that's terrorism too. And it's like, well, hold on, that doesn't meet the definition of terrorism. But if you label, and we're learning this with Trump right now, because Trump just named all the cartels in Mexico terrorist organizations legally, which gives him the right.
Stephen Miller just named me a terrorist as a Democrat.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm
as a liberal. I'm a terrorist.
Yeah. But so you're right. It is being thrown around awfully loosey goosey here. I don't know why I said loosey goosey twice now, but
I like loosey goosey though.
sorry. But it is just being thrown around to anybody we want to label a terrorist, so then we can be against them. But there are like terrorist is a word with a meaning, and there are terrorist groups. I believe strongly the people that committed 9/11 were terrorists. Like they fit the definition. Hey, real quick, can I sidetrack us?
Hold on. You just mentioned 9/11. Like,
okay.
Come on, bro. How in the hell do we have the terrorists' passports?
That's mostly made up, just so you know. We ended up finding like 2 of the terrorist passports on like
what? How?
Because when the plane blew up, we found them on the street supposedly.
Bullshit.
Yeah. If you're a 9/11 truther now, then we need to have a whole episode on that.
Yeah, I think I am. I think I am. There's no way that 2 of their passports miraculously blew out of the plane, didn't burn up, and landed on the streets.
I'm gonna find this for next episode, but somebody actually asked Grok about that on Twitter recently, and whatever, I can't remember exactly what Grok said, but it made total sense. It was like, oh, because like most of the reports are that how do we have all 19 of their passports and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, we don't. And what we have is from one of the planes that it wasn't even the travel set. It was the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania, I believe. The one that the people. That's the one where we were able to in the wreckage they found. They found lots of people's stuff, and some of the things they found were passports.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Whatever it was, Grok said this was a couple weeks ago, but what Grok said made total sense to me.
Okay, yeah, there's no way that any of those planes that hit the World Trade Center, you were going to find any.
It wasn't one of those planes, I believe. I'm not 100% on this, but I believe. And that's one of those though where you take one little small truth, like, oh yeah, they found 2 of the passports from one of the plane sites, and then people take that and run with it. Like, well, how did they find the one from the buildings that at the Trade Center? It's like, no, that's not at all what happened, but it gets spun around. Hey, real quick, while we're talking about definitions, this is going to make you happy. We're talking about definitions and Israel. There is apparently a group. We should look this up real quick. Hold on. I don't want to get this wrong. Hold on. So there's a group that like officially decides what is a genocide and what is not a genocide.
Oh, hold on. No, I got you. I got you, bro.
Oh, you got that? Okay. Well, sorry.
Yeah. I got you a video right here.
The world's leading genocide scholars associations say Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. The group passed the resolution on Sunday, joining a chorus of countries, experts and rights groups who say Israel's actions meet the United Nations definition of genocide. Israel's leaders have denied prior allegations of genocide. More than 63,000 people have been killed in Gaza, and famine is now gripping parts of the enclave due to a partial Israeli blockade.
So hold on, wait. There's an international association of genocide scholars. So I'm glad that they said it, and I agree with them. But also, I don't know what weight they carry, and like Trump is just going to brand them as being liberal, something like so. That's not going to do anything. It's nice to know that there is a group that officially labels things.
Well, that's because we don't believe in science anymore, and this is kind of science.
We're not going to let a bunch of scholars tell us what's going on in Israel. Okay,
right. We're not going to let a bunch of smart people tell us how to live our lives.
Well, that's one of those where I'd love to see a Trump response to that. Like, okay, a group of smart people that study genocides have officially said this is a genocide. What is your response? I'd love to hear what he says.
Well, it's not just them. I mean, the whole world believes it's a genocide at this point. Does this make Israel a terrorist organization?
In the eyes, it's all in the eyes of the beholder. Some people are going to say yes. 49% of Americans are going to say no. We just found out the other day that 51% of Americans now believe this is a genocide. 49% still think it's not.
Really?
Yeah. Remember we covered that last episode.
Okay. What about worldwide?
I don't know what the worldwide is on that, honestly.
I bet it's way less.
I hope you're right. I hope you are right. So,
I mean, so Israel is a terrorist organization, and we're going to run with that.
I think you could make a strong case for what Israel is doing to Gaza. And I even saw tonight, they set up, they ordered everybody to evacuate this one town in Gaza and set up a corridor for them to evacuate in. And then they bombed the people that were evacuating through that corridor. Like,
that's fucked. I mean, that's
I mean, you can't defend that. I don't know. I'd love to hear anybody try to defend that, but everybody evacuate the city. Here is the exact route to take. And then they bomb the people taking that route. Like, I don't.
And Trump is coming out with plans to build like some sort of resort out in the West Bank or one of those places.
I haven't heard him talk about the Gaza. What do you call it? The Riviera of the Mediterranean or something?
I heard something today about it. Like
it wasn't from Trump though.
It was from his administration.
Well,
or his organization.
I think the key thing to remember here when you're talking about like 49% of Americans don't believe this is a genocide, right? It seems ridiculous. If you're seeing what's going on over there, how can you not think it's a genocide? And that's the key statement right there. 49% of Americans, or probably more, aren't seeing what's going on over there. Like if you're in a certain media bubble, like you don't see any of the stuff that me and you are seeing. And also, I always have to remember that some of the stuff I'm seeing might be misleading or fake. I try to really source out what I'm looking at, but there's a lot of people that when I try to tell, I've had this conversation with Republicans where I tell them like, yeah, what Israel's doing in Gaza, and they look shocked. They have no clue what I'm talking about. They haven't seen this with their own eyes. It seems unbelievable. What I'm telling them, you can tell that they don't really buy what I'm saying because they would have heard about it if this was happening.
100%, 100%, and. Well, and this is the thing. This is the first time that CNN has kind of admitted that this is a genocide.
Well, and that
right?
was what's key there.
And CNN is supposed to be our left-leaning news organization.
So I'm gonna correct you there. I didn't see for sure, but I'm almost 100% positive that what you sent me there was CNN International. CNN International is very different from CNN America. CNN America. Yeah. The thing what we do where we have two Republicans on and two Democrats and they argue and talk over each other, like that's not what the rest of the like CNN is very respected around the world because they don't do that shit on CNN International. It's the news and I wish we had a way that I could there probably is a way online I could watch CNN International, but like CNN America is trying to be like Fox News. They've been trying to do that for the past 15 years and Fox News ratings are awesome and they want to be like that. They want the ratings, so they try to do that same talking head arguing crap. But like, I'll bet money, and I can't prove this right now, but I'll bet money that CNN International, that's not the first time they've said genocide. I'll bet they've been talking about it nonstop, or at least saying how people are saying it's a genocide. We're not getting that here in America.
No, I believe that's how I found this was the first time CNN has actually admitted that this is possibly a genocide. I think that's how I found it.
Did somebody on Twitter say this is the first time?
Maybe.
Don't buy that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what people that complain about the news all the time. I laugh because like Republicans will say, "Oh, why isn't the media covering this?" And it's like they are. I've seen it 8 times today. The people that don't watch CNN, for example, I'm just going to say that. But if you don't watch CNN ever because you think they're biased, then you put up a post where you go, "Oh, how come CNN's blah blah blah?" You're not watching them, so don't pretend like you know what they're doing. Like that drives me insane. Is I'll see shit where it's like the media is not even covering this. No, they're covering the shit out of it. You're looking at Facebook all day and getting upset that the media is not covering something that they clearly are. That drives me insane.
Man, you're right. No, you're right. And I just got lost because I started watching that video again just to see what I saw. But like, I just want to show you this fucking screenshot, man. This is just devastating. Like, look at that.
Yeah. Have you seen the before and after? Like they'll do one where it's that area before 2022 and then now, and like there were buildings there. That was.
Well, yeah. I mean, the before and afters are insane from like really high up where they're doing like a whole city.
Yep.
And like the before and afters, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what's even crazier is the fact that the United States is funding this. Like we are just like, it's not like we're just like, oh yeah, just let them do their thing. No, we're like, go fucking Israel. Trump's going to build a fucking golf course here.
Oh, and it's really important.
Damn it.
It's really important for us to say right now, though, that like it's not just the Republicans voting to fund this.
No,
like
Democrats too.
It's because I think like, well, yeah, I think it's like 60 or 70% of Democrats are still voting to fund it. It's like roughly 30% now aren't, but both sides are totally voting to fund this.
Yeah, everybody. I'm going to vote against my senator this year.
Okay.
More than likely
until the general election.
Yeah, I'm going to vote against him because both of them are taking, like, both of our senators are taking money from AIPAC.
Yeah.
And
Which again,
vote against this shit.
I wouldn't just don't look at just are they taking money for APAC? Look at how they're voting.
Yeah.
They if somebody's taking money from APAC but still voting in a very conscionable way, I can't say that, but in a way that you can defend, then okay, I don't care that they're taking the money, they're making the right vote. So that's what really matters. Now, if they're taking money from APAC, odds are their voting record is one you won't
Yeah, for
like.
sure.
But
100%.
give it a look because I've seen a couple like they're low level congressmen that like get like $6,000. It's not a lot. They get like 6,000 from APAC, but then their voting record is not in line with Israel, and APAC's still giving them the money. I don't know why, but they're not. So there are some of those out there. Not many, but there's some.
It's interesting that we actually allow Israel to fund our politicians.
Did you see that interview with Trump?
Yeah.
Remember I told you that Trump he did an interview with somebody from the Daily Caller, and they're putting out excerpts. It supposedly happened over the weekend. Man, let me try to find this real quick. Sorry, I should have been prepared. But he flat out said, Trump is real. Let me see if I can pull this up. Sorry for everybody listening that has
No, you're good.
He said, Israel is amazing. Israel was the strongest lobby I've ever seen. They had total control over Congress, and now they don't. And like just the fact that he's admitting Israel had total control over Congress, and now they don't, like it's true, but it's weird to hear the president say that. Like
When was that?
this is the interview that's coming out, I think tomorrow morning. They're releasing excerpts from it tonight.
They totally have control over Congress. What are you talking about?
It was the strongest lobby I've ever seen. They had total control over Congress, and now they don't. But he also said Israel is amazing. The lady that did this, her name is Reagan Reese, and she's with the Daily Caller. And I think this interview drops tomorrow. Which I think the reason he did this interview with her was supposed to be like a proof of life. Like, look, he's okay. He's doing interviews. But again, I've seen no images, so I think it was like over the phone. I don't know. I don't know when this interview happened. So
Interesting.
it could be just because the Daily Caller is very Trump friendly, so he could have gone to someone where he knows like he could do it, and even if he's in bad shape, they're not going to say that. They're just going to put the interview out.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Man,
Anyhow,
Israel is a terrorist organization.
again, you could make a strong argument for that. We're never going to label them that way, but you could make a strong argument that that's correct.
But the rest of the world is labeling them that way.
I don't think anybody has labeled them as terrorists yet. They're saying it's a genocide, but
who commits a genocide?
I don't think definitionally it has to be a terrorist. Then
Okay,
yeah.
So then what's worse than a terrorist organization? Because maybe terrorists don't commit genocide, but who commits genocide?
What I've seen countries accuse Israel of is war crimes and committing a genocide. I've never seen the word terrorism thrown around with them. Now, like I said, if you look at the definition of terrorism and then look what they're doing in Gaza, you could probably make a strong case. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I know, but I'm just saying I don't think any country has dared to say that yet.
Right. Because they're all getting paid by Israel.
Oh no, not that. I think that I think everybody walks on eggshells when it comes to Jewish people because like, and that this is what's happening over the last year has been an abnormality where people are finally feeling okay to say, hey, what Israel's doing, I'm not down with.
Yeah.
But for years, everybody kind of let Israel do their thing because if you say anything bad about Israel, you're going to get called an anti-Semite. Yeah. And I think I saw Rogan had somebody on where they were talking about exactly this, where it's like, the sting has kind of gone away. Like, yeah, they're calling everybody anti-Semites. I don't mind if they call me an anti-Semite. Like, I'm going to tell the truth. And that's really when their power started to slip, is that being called an anti-Semite by Israel right now doesn't really mean a whole lot. Like, nobody's afraid of it.
Good. Well, shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Kind of crazy.
Very crazy, but that's what the world we live in, man. So,
it sucks. Why do we live in this world, Andy?
Because we have yet to discover another world.
What is going on with our fucking world, dude? This is so stupid. Do you have anything else?
I'm good. You got anything else?
I have one last thing for us.
What do you got?
I've decided that we're going to end on a. Hopefully, I can keep this up, but decided that we're going to end on a good note every night.
Keep us ending on a good note. I like this. What do you got?
All right. This is and I just looked this up as we were talking like 5 minutes ago. Share. Here we go.
All right, got it. Just dogs being dogs. Good,
Goofy dog stuff.
good lighthearted way to end the show. Next time, do kittens. That'll make people happy.
Kittens is better. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, that's all I got. Depending on how Trump's press conference goes tomorrow, we might be back on tomorrow, just depending on what exactly happens. But if not, like I said, pay attention. You got Trump tomorrow. You got Epstein victims on Wednesday, and RFK on the Hill on Thursday. So be ready. Shit's happening this week.
What a crazy week.
Yeah. We didn't realize that we were kind of on vacation for the last month. Congress was out of session. August is normally like that's the dead month. That's when journalists take vacation because like nothing's supposed to happen during August. But like August,
and we had so much shit we were talking about.
I'm telling you, but August is supposed to be the dead month. And now everybody's back from their break and they're all back in. So get ready for the news. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's September 1st through the 12th is bird migration season. Birds start to migrate.
Okay, I'll keep my eyes out and see.
Yeah.
Flying past me heading south.
Yeah, my hummingbirds have almost all gone.
Sorry to hear that, buddy. I know that's a big loss for you. I hope everything's okay.
It's fine. They'll be back next year.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
Later.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.